Nice. Welcome, guys. I'm going to do some readings from my old blog. I still do post here occasionally, but that is not... I'm not posting there much anymore, but I have written quite a few things, and I'm quite happy about a few of them. I was just going back through some of the old posts, and I was like, man, I should put this stuff up and like put it up somewhere where people might see it again. So here it is. Let's see here. Conspiracy of the Upright. Things that blend in seem camouflaged, though the word implies artifice. Considerable effort is taken to make out-of-place things blend in. Military hardware, communications towers, facial blemishes. But you only put camouflage on things that don't belong. No one disguises a tree in the forest. You don't need to. It's invisible. It fits. Goodness is like that. God made the universe, and anything that follows his ways, which we call good, fits in with the environment. It's invisible. The wicked spend energy and time trying to disguise their efforts, to hide their plans, to sneak around unseen, but the upright don't need to. The upright blend naturally. Like a single tree in a forest, there's no need for disguises. The upright fit right in. The wicked must compile secrets, but the righteous have no need. Like the blades of grass, no one notices them because their mysteries are readily apparent. And like the blades of grass, the righteous are more productive, complex, and powerful than they first appear. A righteous person can easily derive the secret handshake. Polite interaction comes naturally to them. It is, after all, simply the golden rule, writ large. Do you want to be on the inside, wherever you go? This task is trivial for the upright. Without disguise, they wear the perfect camouflage. The core of this common conspiracy is this. Truth is difficult to discover, but common to all, while perversions are easily invented and divergent. I'm going to say it again. Truth is difficult to uncover, but common to all, while perversions are easily invented and divergent. Oh, so good. Thus, those who spend much effort uncovering truth find they are in good company when they arrive, and have collaborators wherever they go. Those who invent perversions must always be corralling and cajoling others into their cults and their fads. They will always be advertising and enticing, but also scuttling and lurking. They fear discovery and long for it as well. The righteous have no such aches. Evil pretends to be subtle, but true subtlety belongs to good. Evil must put on disguises of glory, sunglasses and symbols of gold and adoring masses, but the true masses need not communicate, need not organize, need not perform. The God of good teaches each one the way and how to walk in it. You will find no more subtle clan than that which is dispersed as silently and as surely as the wind blows. People looking out for each other have the appearance of a conspiracy, for they all have the same goal. People looking for excuses of violence and shame must form conspiracies, and will forever be baffled at the unity of their opposition. Where are the secret coalitions? Where are the rallies? Where are the cliques? What is the code? What is the hidden knowledge, the lost art? How do the upright coordinate so well? It is simple. We serve the one true God, and our way is peace and life. We are the masters of foment, for we have no need to deceive anyone. Each one looks out not only for his own interests, but also for the interests of others. You will find no more widespread, secure, confident, and terrifying foe than the common man under God's good hand. Join us. We'll know when we meet. That was pretty short. Let's see. We're still going? I guess we're still going. Let's do another one. We can change this to reading a bunch of stuff. Conspiracy of the upright. Greater than myself. Let's see. Let's get the link for this one. Copy that. And we'll put this in here. Reading not one, but a couple. My old blog posts. There we go. Save that. Greater than myself. There's something about huge objects that is very intimidating. Even if they are totally dead, or even inorganic, the bulk of a thing has a weight in the mind. And why is that? Part of the effect could stem from the understandable desire to be able to look at the whole thing at once. When you walk up a hill, you lose sight of the whole. That, and it doesn't feel like there will be anything interesting close up. The windowless, monolithic, blank concrete side of a warehouse advertises few enticements, even if there are lichen and lizard in the cracks. I think this is worse when it's something that used to be alive. The startling chance of sudden revival is always in the back of your mind. Smoothness and impermeability increases this effect. A huge, smooth, dead whale on a beach seems almost sacred and unapproachable. It also creates a large space of stink in the air, so perhaps caution is justified. Even mountains and hills seem divided and distant. An entrance or a path helps a lot to diffuse this feeling. It's okay if someone else has already been there. My wife and I once visited a windmill in the middle of a neighborhood. It was sitting on a hill, spinning lazily, indifferent to its surroundings. I thought, I'll bet we could walk right up to it. And behind my thoughts was the whispered addendum, and it wouldn't even notice us. The tower was probably 200 feet tall, which is easy to say, but it keeps getting bigger as you get closer. We had to drive around for a bit before we found the entrance, and at the back of a school parking lot. That was the courtyard, the secular zone, the place we belonged, not part of the windmill's world. I blithely unpacked my baby out of the car and we started walking up the slight slope. There's a thick hedge of full-grown trees dwarfed by the white, whirling windmill between the parking lot and desolate Windmillsburg. Set in the hedge was a gap, narrow, thin. We approached along the asphalt. The gap was plenty wide for a car, but it seemed inadequate compared to the smooth, thrumming tower. The neighborhood sounds begin to fade as we pass the trees. The black asphalt gives way to coarse white gravel. A plain stretches out on all sides. Suburbia banished to the horizon. In the center of its realm, Windmill dares us to come nearer. A sighing song goes whistling by, the lilt of the windmill's blades. The inhuman lament of a lonely wizard's tower, siphoning power from the air. We slowly walk across the desolate waste, nearly up to the plain of the blades, and stop. I can barely think of advancing. But having come so far, it would look foolish to retreat. The thing is just too massive, unbroken white and gleaming, thrumming, ringing through the sky. I look down and see the sigil of safety. A door. Not an inviting door, for it is clearly locked. Not a welcoming door, for it is plastered with warnings and studded with thick bolts. Not, in fact, any kind of encouraging door, but men have made it. a tower of human sorcery, and intend to return one day. After crossing the blade path with the insistent trembling overhead, I feel within the embrace of the tower. I had arrived, as it were, and further exploration was somehow no more intrusive. The foundation was about as large around as my house, and probably thrice as deep, itself bristling with bolts as thick as my forearm. Hunched nearby was a humming box, probably a transformer. A house was peeking over the back fence, and the spell was broken. We had defeated the windmill, and it was time to go home. As we walked away, the sighing of the blades subsided, and I sensed the windmill watching me retreat. I looked back a couple of times, just to make sure it wasn't following us. I think the ocean, or any deep body of water, is the worst, or perhaps the best, in creating this effect. The depths, obvious but unseen, hide huge mysteries, offering a clutching, drowning death and a slime-encrusted grave. The sea is dead, but strangely alive. It is featureless and smooth, but oddly intriguing. It has no entrance to be seen, no paths, no invitations. Every approach is a virgin encounter. To top it all off, the ocean often contains large featureless objects, buoys and boats and sunken boulders, floating globs of kelp and leviathan. I find the depths send a shiver down my spine. The sea is vaster than comprehension and feels to me as sacred as the grave. How often is the world like this? Have we not all sensed our smallness? The sacred space surrounding mountains or telephone poles. Even novelty has this space, a mental aura of fear that warns me from approach. Buying from a new store, getting to the bottom of an API. Sometimes I glimpse a door, made for a man, in the world and its laws. It is a closed door, but courageous. It grants hope to those who dare approach that which is vaster than themselves, that which appears impermeable. It is locked. I suspect the one who made it intends it to remain till he returns. All right, one more. I'm going to read one more of these because this is just too much fun. I'm going to look this up. Let's see if we can find. Let's see, posts. All posts. I'm going to try one more. Update that post. All right, I'm not going to put this on the title of the thing because I'm not even going to read the title. I'm going to read the title at the end because this is so good. This is a true story, by the way. I did not make any of this up. I was in the clean room doing some tests. Everyone is in white gowns. The place feels like a science lab. My ears hum with the ubiquitous noise of the air handlers. The place tastes like plastic and smells the same. The tool I'm testing needs a new razor blade. I ask the foreman, and he points me to a drawer. Striding confidently over, blue fabric-covered shoes scuffing on the white tile underfoot, I grasp the cold stainless steel handle. Everything in the clean room is cold. Cold and bright, like a winter's day. Pulling the drawer open, I observe a number of miscellaneous objects. White rubber gloves lie limply languid. A few spare nuts and bolts, several long, narrow, unmarked brown boxes, a couple of black markers, some discarded masking tape. The razor blades must be in the box, I reason to myself. I pick one up. It is heavy, but strangely flexible, as if it were full of mercury. I open the brown cardboard lid. Inside there is a thin layer of brown paper, lightly waxed. It has been formed over the edges of the bottom of the box, crushed into place by the lid. It is becoming annoying. All this trouble, and this might not even be the box I'm looking for. I've got tests to do. I set the lid aside and carefully lift the paper. Inside the box, there is nothing. Not razor blades. Not an empty box full of air that smells of paper and plastic. Not anything recognizable. Not anything at all. What I see or fail to see is the box is full of a black void of the deepest interstellar space. Not a shred of light escapes. If a hole were cut from reality and gently folded into a normal cardboard box, this is what it would look like. This is the black of the deepest pit, the darkest night, resting heavily in my hand, in the bright, cold, clean room. I slowly lower the brown paper back into place, and then I blink and look around. I've not gone blind. No one has been sucked into the enigma here in my hand. No terrors have issued forth, except directly into my brain. I put the box back and close the drawer. I must be looking in the wrong place. I did ask for razor blades, didn't I? Perhaps the clean room administrator heard condensed nothingness instead. I'd better be sure. I walk back and ask a second time where the razor blades are. When my tests are done, I can leave this place. All I want is to finish my task. The overseer is a busy man, and he is not pleased to be bothered with this a second time. He clarifies the drawer, and I confirm. Then I walk back. It's the same drawer. The drawer with the long, narrow boxes, each containing a cavity in reality. A portal to nullity itself. Perhaps I imagined it. I open a different box and carefully lift the paper once again. The void remains. Black does it no justice. When we say black, we mean like black paint, or like oil, or like soot. This black renders all such comparisons absurd. What is in the box is the absence of light, the incarnation of darkness itself, congealed, refined, distilled, and boxed in cardboard. I tilt the box this way and that. What manner of object am I holding? This is perhaps, at last, a new thing. I can see flecks, faint flecks in the void, like stars, perhaps, glistening in the depths. They seem near, as if they rest on a membrane within the spatial confines of the container that I hold. They move with the box. When I move my hand. Yeah, that's it, the overseer says. He's standing at my side now, and carefully takes the box from me. Tilting it sideways, he deftly plucks a razor blade from the darkness. Never seen that before? He asks, placing the single blade on the edge of the stainless steel table. It glints with metallic malice. The box is as empty as before, but now I can discern a slight serration along the edge of the void, sharp points like teeth reaching down before being swallowed in utter blackness. What I had observed is an unintentional beam dump, where the high angle of razor blades traps and absorbs incoming light. The blades were stacked, edge up, in the box to avoid dulling during transport. The flecks of light were individual pieces of dust and wax, quite rare in a clean room, carried in with the packaging, resting on the edges of the blades. And yet, at the back of my mind, the experience had formed a new idea. Though it was disproved, the shock of the void in the box lingered. Once I understood it, the box was simply another box of razor blades. And I went back to my tests. But the void remained in my mind to this day. The post is called The Void in a Box. Thanks for listening, guys. I will do some more of these later, perhaps. Or perhaps not.